Hey everybody, it's Bobo the Vulture, and it's time for more Let's Play Extreme Warfare Revenge. Main screen turn on. Let's click over to the next day. And this day will take a while too, because the first day of the simulation, basically, the database that it has is based roughly on sort of the North American wrestling scene circa 2003, 2004, when the game was originally made. Um, Now, the AI that's programmed in for all these things, considering all the various rankings that people have been given on their abilities, it doesn't always all match up. Um, let's go to the first page here. Okay, so FLI got a 7.78 rating for La Flute FLI. They made $7,260 from ticket sales. That's nice for them. WWE have released Horseshoe, Johnny Jete, Pain, Damien, Mr. Black, Carly Colon. That's Carlito, folks. I mean, if you followed wrestling in that time, you would remember Carlito. He was a big deal for a while. He was going to be a big bad guy for the WWE. Matt Capitelli, Aaron Stevens, John Hennigan, Nick Dinsmore. He was wrestling under the name Eugene in those days, or he was for a while, as I guess he's like a special needs student wrestler, more or less. Nova. Oh man, they fired Hollywood Nova. He was part of the BWO in ECW. He wrestled in WWE as Simon Dean, like some kind of fitness guru. Wait, is that all the WWE news? There is a move there I was expecting that I didn't see. Masato Tanaka has agreed to an open contract with XPW. Jerry Lynn signing with XPW. Easy Money, Mikey Whipwreck, Sabu, Trinity, Loki, D'Lo Brown. Interesting. Sort of a little mixture of guys. Old, well, I guess D'Lo Brown was WWF guy. A lot of ECW guys there. Hurricane Kid, Eric Tuttle, Ian Knox, Greg Matthews. Any of these names ringing a bell for me? No. Matt Vandal, Arrow, Dick Trimmins, Ariel. Ariel had a cup of coffee in the revised, reintroduced ECW when it sort of got re-released on the Sci-Fi Channel. I think she was a pro wrestler slash valet for what's that guy's name? Nick Thorne or something. Basically, he was supposed to be a vampire, and she like would come into the ring and do splits and stuff. And Alex Shelley got released. Alex Shelley was a big name in TNA back when I was watching it on a regular basis. Marcos. Oh man, we would have been able to get Marcos for less money now. Maybe we could renegotiate. Chase Stevens and Cassidy Riley both got released from TNA. Wait, are Chase Stevens and Cassidy Riley, oh, I forget. They are a tag team. I'm trying to remember whether Primetime Brian Lee. He used to do the Primetime Slam, which was also a choke slam, I think. Don Harris. What about Ron Harris? Well, also, oh, that's Don Juan. Tammy Sitch. MLW is getting rid of Sonny. Destiny, okay. Jeremy V. Some of these guys are guys that we saw. So they would be people that we would theoretically be able to. And you'll see there's 412 emails here. There's a lot of readjustment that the game sort of naturally does on its own. Casey Blade, Don Montoya, Easy Negro, Valentina. Mega! His name was Yelling. Thunder! Must be the tag team partner of Mega. I don't really know, though. Joey Max. Johnny Max. Simon Says, JC Baylor. Okay. Rolling Hard. Too Tough Tony. Frank Shamrock's got a contract. Oh, so these are all guys that are taking open contracts. Super Crazy. Yo soy super crazy. Well, Black Pearl is on the market. Blade hates him, but maybe he's a really good wrestler. Gene Snitsky. His gimmick in WWE was that he hated babies. Pretty sure that's what it was. You should look it up. Bam Bam Bambi. Lumberjack Bubba. Chris Candido's got a job. That's nice. Satoshi Kojima. Well, Frank Shamrock has another open contract. Well, he's got a lot to do. Oh, Lash LaRue, the Raging Cajun. WWE fired Gene Okerlund and Josh Matthews and the coach and Brian Hebner, Mike Chioda, Jimmy Corderas. They're firing all of their referees and all of their announcers. And presumably these are all various other important road agents whose names that I might know if I were big in the biz. Sergeant Slaughter. You might as well just spit in the face of America if you're gonna fire Sergeant Slaughter. You pukes make me sick. And Dangerous Danny Davis. Shooter Dean Malenko? Oh, I love Dean Malenko. He would probably have been working as a road agent at this point. Same as, I guess, Sergeant Slaughter and them. Danny Davis and such, too. Yeah, Dean Malenko. Oh. Dean Malenko's a guy, I guess it might have been just injuries. Oh, Tom Pritchard. But, he had to retire a little bit early. He was an example of a guy who never got over because people thought he lacked charisma. But he was an amazing in-ring talent. He was one of the best technical wrestlers I remember seeing in that time. They called him the man of 1,000 holds. And then Chris Jericho did an angle where he wrestled him and called himself the man of 1,001 holds. And would bring out a list. ROH has signed staff member Dallas Page. He's going to teach everybody in ROH DDP yoga. AJ Dudley, Alex Dudley, and Alyssa Dudley. The Dudley family is all being fired from ROH, apparently. Anna Dudley, Arn Dudley. That's a lot of Dudleys. Sonny Ocho, Willie Snuffer. Guido Christmas. Alright. What? NWA TNA fired staff member Scott D'Amore, but he's the captain of Team Canada. He's their coach. I guess that's right. He's Team Canada coach. I think captain of Team Canada was Petey Williams. Oh, I wonder whether or not he's available for hire. Probably is. Probably would ask for more money than we have. Ooh, Bobby Heenan. Nice. Killer Kowalski. Wait, did you just... Oh, okay. You signed Killer Kowalski. I was like, come on, don't fire Killer Kowalski. That's not nice. The bald guy. Score one up for the bald guy. Hey, HWA, they're going to pick up the coach and Tony Schiavone. Wow. That is not a broadcast team I think I would want to listen to. Okay, wait a minute. FLI, what is it? Le Flûte, Laurent International, or whatever they were. The Canadians have picked up Sergeant Slaughter? Come on, guys. That just can't happen. Nothing against Canada, but I mean, Sergeant Slaughter is Sergeant Slaughter. He fights for the U.S. of A. Ahmed Monster. All right, we are getting farther and farther into this, and I'm getting the impression that oh, Jimmy Hart. Beautiful, baby, beautiful. I got hired by ECCW. Ah! Mouth of the South Jimmy Hart used to play manager role, and he would come out wearing these sport coats that were airbrushed with like pictures of whoever it was that he was managing. Um, and these really awesome jackets, and he'd have a bullhorn with him, and so he'd just like keep screaming into the bullhorn encouragement to his man, often along the lines of things like "beautiful baby, beautiful." All right, so these are all going to be Rug Munchers, haha. Yeah, Demon Bass, Stanley Guitars. You will notice that a lot of these are Irish tree fellers. A lot of these are going to be blunt connection. Going to be bad jokes, pop culture references here and there. Quickie Mart, Pat's Postal Service, Postman Pet, Postman Pet, Postman Pet, and the black and white cat. Douglas Teaching, Dean Douglas. The Smart Marks, Hilton, David Lee and Roth. Crush, Freeman Detectives, Phillips GPS, Charisma Carpentry. Oh, because Charisma Carpenter. Price, Chase Agency, Veteran Ament. Stanley and Simmons. Oh, what next? Gonna be Freely and Chris. Yeah, so. Mighty Men's Mystic Pizza Police Squad. Snacks. Alright, let's delete all these items. We don't need to deal with that anymore. Out of curiosity, now I am kind of interested. Is Petey Williams out here? Is he under a written contract to someone? There's Pete Gas. Oh, Phil LaFawn. I remember when he was supposed to be the most amazing thing to come down the pike. He was going to tag team, he was going to wrestle with Doug Furnas and Phil LaFawn. Hey, it's Colt Cabana. Cool. Crazy Mexican. Crappy the Clown. Wow, he's pretty crappy. What do you know? We got any new amazing talents that want to work for 10 grand? I'm sorry, guys. I'm just hungry for talents. Oh, the American Kickboxer. Brandon K is not bad. Buffet. Alright, Comic Book Guy Anderson. Concession Boy. Concession Boy's not a bad all-rounder, actually. He's very uncharismatic. Corky, who's part of the tag team Short Bus with Special Ed. That's just fantastic. You know what? There's not going to be a whole lot going on here. Let's just go ahead and pack it up, move to the next day. The next day will also probably take a little while to load. It'll be a few days before all of the staff shakeouts have happened, I think. I would imagine. Extreme Mail, See, there's not 400, but there's still 87 emails. Believe me, folks, eventually you get to a point where you don't even get an email every day. You just get an email if, for example, an organization had a show and they will tell you what the ratings were. Um, like right here, WWE got a 2.96 TV rating for Heat. It was attended by 7,008 people. WW. Bill Watts is taking control of FLI. Adidas Fabulous has left FLI as part of the new management team shakeup. So is Eric Gracie, Jade, Melvin the Woodsman, Orange Crush, Sade, Sherry Bop, Armand Rougeau, Marsha, Strong Shuto Shinjo. WWE fired Alexis Lurie. Jacqueline? Oh man, Jackie, she's black, y'all. Garrison Cade, who for a while had a gimmick of being a basketball player who was too violent. His gimmick was that he was Bill Laimbeer, but not really. Shaniqua. Oh, well, I guess she managed the Bashams. Sable. Oh, Brock Lesnar's not gonna like that. Miss Jackie. There we go. I got nervous when that didn't happen on the first day. It always happens, though, folks. WWE always fires Mark Henry in this game. Orlando Jordan. Oh, Zach Gowen, the one-legged superstar. Or was it Mark Jindrak, the violent basketball player? I forget. Jindrak and Cade were a tag team for a while. Matt Morgan. NWA TNA released Tracy Brooks. I remember she was a big diva for them. David Flair. Ric Flair's, I guess, surviving some, unfortunately. Not unfortunately for him, but you know what I mean. Just incredible. Abyss? Wow. And Samoa Joe apparently has an open contract, so that's good to know. I'll be sure to try and aggressively recruit, Samoa Joe. He's not going to sign up with us. Dutch Mantel has agreed to an open contract with FLA. Dutch Mantel, a manager and announcer, probably was a wrestler many, many years ago, but a manager and announcer and such now. I think has moved up to the WWE in recent years as Zeb Coulter. Mark Marrow. Mark Marrow's got an open contract with FLI. Nikita Koloff, Sabu. ECWA released Mr. Ulala. ECWA released Carlton P. Hightower. Maybe we could go get him for like no money now. Although I think we still probably wouldn't want him. So it seemed like FLI actually had a lot of female staff. I don't know, like they might have been a ladies wrestling federation. There are those out there. There are just ones that have stronger women's divisions than others. Geez, that management shakeup. I wonder whether or not it affected the $10,000 landscape. Was Adriana Belli here before? I feel like she might not have been. But then again, it is hard for me to say. I don't know if Chris Seidel was. Suicidal Strike with Cade Seidel. Okay. Just having a look here, everybody. Humongous. And this horse, my God. It looks like he'd be a horse. Sure. Hey, Jessica Darlin. You have 0 skills and only 50 charisma. Cupid, Crazy K, Kylie and the Lady Storm. Kylie and the Lady Storm. Matt Cross. Oh, he still has an open contract with somebody. Oh, Mega. I guess he got let go, and now he's down. He's down among the rest of you scum. And yes, I am also the rest of these scum here because I am searching through them, trying to find people that would be worthwhile hires. Rapid Fire Maldonado might be. Well, he's been criticized for being lazy in the ring. Come on, guys. Don't be lazy in the ring. Haha, irony, Scotty Charisma has average charisma. It's Spanky Malone. The Count. Wow, the Count is pretty good. Which is why I just clicked back. You know what? I clicked back. It's not worth it. We're going to keep advancing forward. Next day. I think at this rate we're going to get up to Friday, where the next card's going to be. Marty Jannetty agreed to an open contract. WWE fired Don Marie. The Boss Man, Bill DeMott. That is a turning point for his career. Sakota? Funaki, no, not Sho Funaki. He's the #1 superstar. He's SmackDown's #1 wrestler. And Rodney Mack. Oh, there goes Basham Brothers. I guess Shaniqua got fired yesterday. It was only natural. Spike Dudley, Gail Kim, Victoria. Oh, Kid Cash. Alright, more people. Oh, Jack Victory. I feel like I've heard his name before, but I don't really remember very much about Jack Victory. I think he wrestled in ECW for a while or some such. Mr. Bob Backlund has agreed to a contract with FLI. He's going to teach everybody the cross-faced chicken wing. Ricky Morton, Earthquake, and Marty Jannetty. So, alright, it seems like FLI used to have a lot of female superstars, now has a lot of really old superstars. That seems to be the thing that's happening there. Tell you what, I'll have another look at the roster before Friday. They fired JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield, Sylvain Grenier, Tori Wilson, Jazz, Billy Gunn, Test, Nydia, Teddy Long, Terry Runnels, sorry, and Rene Dupree, Rosie. Yeah, those are all. I mean, the names may not mean anything to you, but yes, I recognize all of those names. And yeah, I mean, I guess they're people that, well, with the exception of, I guess Teddy Long had a job at least until recently. Tess passed away, which is, of course, sad. Bradshaw's commentator for them now. Mago. That's Bradshaw. When people say Mago, that's what they're talking about, I think. Cole Cabana got released. Man, but he's a successful podcaster. People don't release successful podcasters, do they? Do they? I don't know, folks. I'm not a successful podcaster. WWE fired Lita. Farouk, damn! And they fired Scott Steiner. Wow. All right. This has been some serious bloodletting here in week 1 of Extreme Warfare Revenge. Let's take a look at the Extreme Mail. See, and now we're down to the point where nobody's firing anybody. So let's delete that message. Let's look at the other workers again. Let's set our price ceiling for 10 grand. And it doesn't matter. If we have an open contract with like 1,000,000 guys, it doesn't matter. Because we're only paying them if they show up. Basically, having an open contract with them just says like, hey, If you want to come by sometime, we'll pay you this much. We will have you on retainer. Not though. This is the opposite of having them on retainer. There is no retainer. Doesn't happen. So yeah, there's a lot more mildly talented female wrestlers down here now. I feel like maybe a lot of them were in FLI before. Blade might be worth having. Brock Singleton's a pretty good. I mean, he's not a good high-speed guy, but pretty good brawler and technical wrestler. Chance Prophet's a good all-rounder. Again, there was Concession Boy. Price. Dave McMillan's not bad. Diablo Santiago, above average in all respects except charisma. I want to use the Michinoku driver as a finisher. I love the Michinoku driver. How much do you want? Tell you what, let's go back here again. The Dirt Bike Kid. This is the story of the Donny Rotten. Alright. Fantastic Frank is above average Frank. With gymnastic. Okay. Oh, gymnastic. Ah, I just got it. You guys just get it, folks? Or did you get it earlier, the first time you saw his name? Which might have been right then. I don't know. What am I supposed to know, guys? Jay Jacobs. Pretty good aerialist. Jeremy V. Pretty talented guy. And unemployed. May be able to swoop in there. Yes. Alright. Keep looking. Corrupt Pinky. Lady Storm. Legion Cage. Jeez. So many people willing to work kind of cheap. He has that, oh, Niles Young. Alright. Yeah, there's that Rapid Fire Maldonado fellow again. And yes, I'll probably end up looking at a lot of these guys multiple times over, and you'll wonder why I don't seem to have a spark of recognition. I hope you forgive me. I'm just not that great with, you know, names and such. Who's willing to work for cheap? Oh, all of a sudden Carlton P. Hightower's got some people, some folks back home to feed. Some mouths to feed. I see how it is. Yeah, well, they all suck. So, let's go back to the search criteria one more time. And look at guys who have a speed skill of 67 or above. Fast Eddie, pretty good all-rounder. Jeremy V, pretty good all-rounder. Those guys. Steve Stone. Lazy in the ring. Jeremy V. What about you? Also lazy in the ring. You guys actually have pretty similar stats. I'd just hire you guys just to make you wrestle each other. Fast Eddie is an upper mid card heel. Alright. Jeremy V, what about you? Upper mid-card face. Great. I can make them fight each other. They'll fight it out. But they won't fight it out yet, folks. I'll tell you what, I'll do one more thing before we go. Let's check out, I'll try and just, click on these things as they come up. Internet. It's the fake internet inside the game. EWRevenge.com. It will basically, these articles will always be the same. I mean, the person that it mentions will be different, and if you click read more, it just takes you to their generic EWRevenge.com profile, or their generic EWRevenge profile. Oh, Eddie Guerrero, put one out. But it'll always be the greatest wrestler, the next big thing, and best independent wrestler. And then these will all be like different. Wow, what's the deal with this being a story? Oh yeah, I guess Wrestling Star speaks out. Usually it's number one tells you the best is, and then what the most extreme one is. Jonathan Coachman's Dance of the Day. The Hustle, a little known but extremely lively dance. Dan Severn versus Taka Michinoku? That is not a match I would have thought of. Huh. Alright. Well, there you go. Taka Michinoku should have been a great. I mean, I suppose, he had to overcome the challenge of being Japanese wrestling in the United States. With the not speaking a lot of English and the just being smaller. Wrestling Heat. These questions. Christian Peak, Peak of the Week. Are any of these wrestlers that we have going to debut soon? Yeah, probably. Brock Lesnar said to be furious with his position within WWE. Of course, they just fired Sable. Wrestling Now recovering. Yeah, Brock Lesnar and Sable are a couple. It's cute. It's nice. Sabu to leave MLW. Didn't he just get hired there? I don't know. GrappleFanatics.net. Delay it, and it will, yeah. Usually these will each be just a column about a random person. This will always be just a column, quote unquote, about a Fed. This will always be the top 5 list. This will be random questions. I think this is always the same. I don't know. Oh yeah, and this is like regional guys, lesser known guys. Who's a good manager? Roddy Piper. And the female of the species, Jazz. There you go. And the battleground is our website. The Ryland Report. Who has charisma? Those guys all do. Everyone can't wait to debut. What's Adam Ryland's take on things? Work is continuing on this cookbook. Sure it is. Matrix, yeah. Alright, well there you go. It's a little bit of a look at everything in the world of Extreme Warfare Revenge, at least for right now. And when we come back next time, folks, what is this? Episode 3, we'll actually get to booking a wrestling show. There's a lot of setup, a lot of prep that goes into the basic getting the ball rolling. Who am I kidding? There's also a lot of setup and prep and getting the ball continuing to move. But that's the kind of game this is. It's a game where you sit and you go through you crunch numbers, and you go through lists, and you try and put together good pairings and stuff. That's how it works. Anyways, folks, this is Bo with a Vulture. This is Let's Play Extreme Warfare Revenge. I want to thank you very much for watching, and I hope I'll see all of you next time. Bye for now, though.